Eric, what's going on? It's Juwan next to Don. Here to talk about some West Coast footy, man. West Coast all day, every day. If you ain't know, now you know. But man, so a few years ago, I made a video, and I was like, it's about to look rough for West Coast for a little while. Not knowing how right I was at the time, I think this was like going into the 2022 season. Um, we had like hella injuries before the start of the regular season, and Darlin was tripping about COVID. It was all types of shit going on back then. And I made a video, and ever since then we've been ass. So I'm back again to make another video about the new era of West Coast, and hopefully it lifts the curse that maybe I may or may not have put on this team. But I am very excited for the future of West Coast. In this video, I'm going to try to break down a few reasons why. So, without further ado, first of all, years I've been saying Simo ain't it. I feel like what all the changes we made this past year kind of reconfirms or makes me think that West Coast was thinking the same way I was. I was like, we need to get the old players out. We need a new coach. We need to focus on the young players, and you know, it was time for a new era, and this is the start of the new era. Starting with the new head coach, Andrew McCalter. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. My bad. But yeah, so he our seventh head coach. For himself, he played for St. Kilda at '05. Ironically, his debut game was against the West Coast Eagles. And he wasn't all that much of a player from the stats. He was on some winning teams, like he was on the Saints during their heights where they never won. But he got close in '09. He went to the grand finals against Geelong and ended up losing. But I think that was pretty much the peak of him as a player. He wasn't even the best player on that team. His stats are sadly just mediocre, but I guess he had more of a mind for the game than the actual player because, he did also play for Gold Coast for 5 games. Let me throw that in there too. So he retired in 2011. Then in 2014, he got picked up as an He got picked up as an assistant development coach at Richmond under Damon Hardwick, and he was with Richmond from 2014 all the way up to 2023 when Damien Hardwick left. So he got all that, all the little trinkles from being under Hardwick. He got that inside of him. He wasn't the assistant development coach for long. He ended up becoming the assistant midfield coach, like 2 years after he started coaching. So I guess he had a skill for coaching. That's what I'm getting out of that. But then, so when Damien Hardwick left like mid-season back in 2023, he became the stand-in coach. So he was the head coach for, I believe, 10 games or like 13 games. He had a 7 wins and 6 losses as head coach of the Hawks after, you can't really blame nobody for having a losing record after you lose your head coach mid-season, but he didn't even have a losing record, so he was 7-6. So I think that's a positive on his end. And then in 2024, I guess he was like the assistant head coach under Simon Goodwin for that year, but at the end of the year, he got the job at West Coast, so now he with us. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I read this article. He basically sat down with each player and kind of asked them, where they would want to play, where they're comfortable playing, and just where they see themselves with the club. And I think that's a good thing, not just for like a coach-player relationship, but just for any business relationship. You should really know where everybody's at so everybody can be on the same page. So I don't know if that's common in footy, but that's just really a positive that I'm getting from him as well. Other than that, I think that's really it about Andy McCalter. But I'm also very excited for the players we got. Like this is truly like the start of a new era. We getting all our older players that from that like 2018 championship. A lot of them are moving out. We still got a few like we got Elliott Yo, Dom Sheet, Jamie Cripps, McGovern, Tom Cole, Liam Duggan. We still got a lot of our older players, but we got the ones that are still effective. I think the last few years it was like, man, we got the old players and as West Coast fans, we love them, but they ain't performing how they should be performing, and I think a lot of those players that was my issue with are no longer playing. So these players, I think, still are effective from the olden days. But yeah, let me get into the new players that I'm really excited about that I think are really gonna make a jump this year. It's Harley Reid, of course. Yeah, I think it speaks for itself. It's just a matter of time before Harley Reid really gets going. As long as he stays healthy and keeps his mind focused, I think he's going to be a great player. I think Ruben Gimby is going to have a breakout year. I seen from that article, Gimby is talking about, or Andy McCalter is saying that Gimby's probably going to be playing kind of half back because of how versatile he is. I think that's really smart for the player that he is, and Gimby done got big. So yeah, that should be. I like that a lot. Then who else? We got Camel Chesser. He's definitely coming in form too. So him in the midfield's looking good. We're young. Noah Long too. I think those. I think that's our young core. That's gonna be. I don't know if the old era had a name, but those four I think is like the new era type shit. But even past that, like getting into the team itself, like the breakdown, like our forwards, just we got Liam Ryan who stands for himself basically. If he's healthy, if he's active, and if he's doing what he's doing, Liam Ryan, him on the field is just effective. Jake Waterman just been crazy these last few years, and him. He took the spot. I thought Oscar Allen was going to be what Jake Waterman became, but we still have Oscar Allen. And if he becomes who people said he was going to be, then I think that can be very dangerous too. So, our forwards is looking good, man. And then we just picked up Matt Owies from Carlton. So, I'm happy with the forwards right now. Midfields, I said Harley Reid. Just picked up Liam Baker. That's going to be crazy. Very versatile player right there from the preseason. I really like what he did for us. So we got that going. And then Tim Kelly's still Tim Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So midfield, and then we got all the young core. So it's really just gonna see where everybody feels into place. Like I said, Andy McCalter said he's gonna make a lot of position changes. So still don't know where people are gonna land up, but. Also at the back, we got a lot of experience. That's where a lot of the old players are, like McGovern, Dugan, and Tom Cole. So they all in the back, but we also got the young guns in the back with Brady Hill, Red Basil, and like I said, Jimmy probably is gonna be playing back there too. So I think the back is just very well balanced. Yeah, man, I'm just excited for the future of West Coast, man. I think it's been, as a new fan that came in, 2021 when we had the start of the season was good, and then we fell off, and ever since then, we just been kind of been ass. I think this is the most hopeful I've been for a season as a West Coast fan. But hey, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit, man. I might give y'all some more little West Coast breakdowns, by itself. So y'all stay tuned. Yeah. Till next time.